You're a little soft sometimes too.
Me?
Overall, yeah.
Like for some reason when I was editing, it sounded like I had like a sore throat last week.
Weren't you coming off of a cold?
No.
No.
Editing, I'm like, why do I sound like that? I was like, did something mess up and like record? Like, I don't know.
But
I have myself turned down farther. My headphones have the amp in them.
For overall.
For just my headphones, I have overall everything turned down.
Not your fader, your mix.
Yeah, everybody, we're all the same.
Yeah. This episode sponsored by Sprite and Coke.
Tape yours over.
No. Why don't you tape it over?
copyright. Yeah, bro.
Whatever.
You said it, so we can't use that whole section now.
It's worth this
Probably
section
want
anyways.
to tape over your
No, that's fine.
smart
I'll turn the
one.
lamp on.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's okay, everyone. We have generic pop with us tonight. That is not a certain brand that you might know. It's gaff tape brand.
And what's up?
And cue.
Welcome to Midnight Snack Podcast. My name is Brandon.
And I'm Kevin.
And I'm Adam.
Whatever. We had a conversation before this started about the little things that go over your head.
See things that pink popped up here, like ready? Watch. That thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have enough time in between.
Yeah.
Now let's see if I can remember to do that when I'm editing this.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna have like 50 of them pop up.
Oh, that's where I could do the motion tracking.
Yeah.
Check this out. Look at this is a new test, and
You'll just put
feel
like a
more
little
10.
like
Ready?
flame.
Look,
Just,
well,
hold it-
it'll
hold
fall
it
in my
over
hand.
here.
Like,
Over
check this
here,
out.
And then over here.
you got to do more dramatic.
I am. I don't can only reach so far. Sorry, you audio folks. Look at that.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't.
What-
I'm
what
gonna,
do you-
I'm gonna probably put the poop emoji in there because that's it. That's in there now.
Okay.
I'll make that auto track to my hand.
Yeah. It is sweet. For
Yeah.
more 10, man.
Yeah.
We made it from more X.
Because X is way cooler. Do you like my
They even
stand?
changed like the like just the UI looks a little different. Like they just didn't
Looks like so
redo
much more.
Oh, yeah.
lines and
Yeah.
add stuff in. They actually changed even just stuff, just looks small stuff. Like
It's crisp.
yeah,
Looks more
Just like your pump.
iPad-y.
Yeah.
Like touchscreen-y friendly.
yeah. I still wish the only thing I want out of Femora is that I can take my preview monitor and put it onto a different
Yep.
actual
Do
monitor.
they have a like version for like iPad and crap?
No, but what I use is LumaFusion.
LumaFusion.
Luma
No, that says Luma Touch.
It's the LumaFusion
Touch
software.
Fusion.
It's actually super dope.
Yeah. Is it like basically the same thing as Femora?
No, I mean it's close. It does a lot of deep editing, but
Rather than the shallow editing.
Yeah. Can't have
better
shallow
than your
editing.
Windows Movie Maker.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's
why that's
actually
still a
quite a
thing.
few people that when they did the iPad Pro review, that they edited their entire like YouTube video.
I've
on
watched
the
people
iPad.
that just work off of the what's the big guy pad, like the huge
The 12.9 inch one,
Yeah.
the Pro. It's still a Pro, but it's just bigger.
Yeah, I've watched people like that.
Pro Plus.
That's their workstation. That's what they use.
MKBHD did his on it. What's the chick, the blonde chick?
Oh, Justine.
Justine did hers.
Oh, right.
She did hers on the iPad Pro as well, and it
that-
looks great.
Just that video because they got $40,000
Right.
Mac
towers.
Pros,
Yeah.
in their freaking
Yeah.
That Apple was like, here you go.
with
Here, have
their
this.
$1,000 wheels or whatever it was.
$400 a piece or $400 for the set.
I don't
I still
remember.
can't remember. You know what? Just because I'm going to say it's $400 a piece, just because. Probably
Wouldn't
not.
surprise
Sure. And I'm not going to do all
I think
that.
it's $400 for the set. If I
Yeah.
want to be honest.
Still way too expensive.
Yes.
But they were like solid steel wheels though.
And I can get those down at Menards for $3.99
a piece.
Yes,
That's great.
Like a tenth of the price. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You Mac people.
Yeah.
I'm not a Mac person. I just happen to be someone that likes iPhone and iPad.
Just too
mobile.
ingrained into that now.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to buy a Mac and be happy though. Can't.
Yeah.
PC guy. Always.
Oh
will be.
yeah.
But yeah.
If I'm going to get a Mac computer, it's going to be one like an Apple II.
Classic.
Huh?
Classic.
The original.
Oh yeah. Okay. Like.
I was reading an article today. It was one that was on my list to possibly talk about today. But it was like an older article. So PC Gamer must be really scrounging around for articles to share on Facebook to fill up their social media feeds because half the articles they share are from like 2018 and older.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, cool. This is like one was like, this is what it's like living with the fastest internet in the world or whatever in the USA. But yeah, it's kind of making noise. Oh, I thought you were gonna flip it again.
No. I'm trying to stop it.
And so it was about like this guy that had this super fast internet, but it was like from 2016. I'm like, well, that doesn't apply anymore.
Okay,
Because
we've got
4
satellites.
years later, yeah,
We have
space.
hundreds of satellites in space now is getting ready to start. But they had one about the speed at which the keyboard from the Apple IIe was the response time to the computer, and it was actually like over half or twice as quick.
It is now?
Than what our but this was like a 2018 article, so we'd have to revise it. But at the time, this guy tested a bunch of these different keyboards, and like the Apple II keyboard had like a 30 millisecond from button press to seeing the number or the letter pop
We're
up
way
on the
faster
screen.
than that now.
And
We're pulled up actually.
but like this was just 2 years ago. That the Apple II from the late 80s or mid to late 80s, whenever that came out, was, and then the other keyboards that they were testing was like 150 milliseconds response time. But that was just 2018. That's why I didn't bring it up. That's why I didn't put it in the list because it was an old article.
Yeah.
I knew it probably wouldn't hold validity
Dude,
to nowadays stuff.
one of the very first computers I ever got was it was from a friend of mine. They used to have a private school in town, and the school I think ended up deciding to close its doors or whatever, and so they were getting rid of a bunch.
Opening
Close
animation.
the doors.
They're closing the
Well,
doors.
Close the door.
And they ended up getting rid of all of the computers and stuff, and a lot of them were like super old. I want to say they were iMacs, but
all-in-one
like
things?
yeah,
Like
but they were
colored tubes?
well. It wasn't the colored one though. It was even older than that, so it was before the color generation. And I mean that thing was so archaic.
I had fixed one of those things I had a couple from the church I used to go to, and they were junk, and I'd taken them home, and one wasn't working. It wasn't one to turn on all the way. So I picked it up about 4 inches off the ground and dropped it, fixed it. Kid you not, turned right back on after that.
It's impressive.
Those things are a pain.
Give
in
it
the
an old
butt
1-2.
to get into.
Oh yeah.
Because there's so much, you got to get the outer shell off, and then you got to get like the metal housing off. And it's
Because they're all the
horrible.
old tube style.
Yeah, and then they have the
flat
flat
screen
monitor
and
inside,
everything.
and it's not your normal PC case, or it's all specifically built. And
Right.
but the things were heavy.
Yeah.
I used to have
Yeah, they
one
were.
in like fourth grade that we'd be in class, and all of a sudden it would just turn on, make the classic Apple turn on sound, and we'd be all in class, and then eventually later it would shut off, and then it would kept turning on and off.
That was
off again
before
all the
Wake
time.
on Land.
Yeah, yeah. It would just turn on and off whenever it decided to. I'd be in class.
Huh.
Play Oregon Trail in that thing.
Yeah.
Kid Pix. You guys remember Kid Pix?
Sounds familiar.
It was like a drawing.
Oh,
drawing
yes.
app thing.
Yes.
Maybe I do.
It was like paint on steroids back in the day.
Yeah.
I just remember the old. One of my favorite things was the Windows computers they had back when I was in elementary school,
Back
and
in my day.
they had the
The old man?
they had the paperclip that would come
yeah.
out to help you.
Yeah.
Clippy.
Yeah,
Clippy.
Clippy. And then you could like get different like different characters, and there was like one that was like a cat. And I'm like, dude, I got a freaking cat on my screen.
Yeah. It tells you how to do what you already know how to do 95% of the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was funny. I don't know. It was a comedian that was talking about it. Might have been Demetri Martin. I think it probably was.
Yeah.
And he brought that back up, and pop up on a computer like a bad guy, and he's like, I see you're writing a ransom note. You want some help with that?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the old people that listen to this podcast are like those youngins talking about their little iMacs.
That's a PC thing.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. How was your week?
Well, it was good.
Went quick. Weekend went quicker.
Yeah, this week was quick for me, too.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Blizz today, and we were both talking about how the weekend went really too fast, and I'm like, weekends never go slow. You never like, this weekend's dragging out. I wish it would just hurry up.
Yeah.
And I've never uttered those words in my entire life. And in all seriousness, if I had, it was joking.
Yeah.
But no, they went way too quick.
Yeah.
But today I did jack squat. Mm-hmm. Went to bed late, woke up late, and then laid around in bed with Loki all day and watched Critical Role.
I slept until 1:30.
Oh my gosh, I should have slept till 1:30 because I'm sitting in there watching the TV going. And actually, I was fast forwarding because in the middle of Critical Role they have like a 20-minute break, and I was fast forwarding through it, and I must have dozed off because then I woke back up like probably 30 seconds later, but I was going so fast I was almost all the way to the episode. I'm like, where the heck is this? And I started backing up, and then I'd stop, and I'm like, well, I went really too far. It's like I must have been out, but it was just like an instant because it should have only taken me like 30 seconds to get through. That's how tired I was today.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal was. I went to bed at 2, but it probably was the deal.
Yeah.
No,
there you go. Answer solved.
I ended up.
You got off of SCUM. You're like, I'm probably gonna go to bed, and I look, and this guy's over here playing Insurgency for another hour.
I only played one. Well, no, 2 matches with the other guys that I play Tarkov and stuff with.
He
Hudson
left
and
this.
Jeremy.
Everybody all left me at the exact same time. You and Blizz.
Hey,
all left me, and I look up, and he's still playing. I'm like, son of a gun.
I was on my way off, and I happened to look over and saw that they had joined into the chat. And so I'm like, I'll go talk to them.
Don't
and
care.
Then they're like, hey,
I have to admit that's a little messed up.
What?
I'm just teasing.
I mean, we were done playing SCUM.
Even Chewy, who was 4 hours ahead, came back on. After
I saw that.
Got back off, and we were back on playing again.
Yeah.
I forget what I was working on. I
sleep,
checked Discord like twice, and as soon as I got off, it's probably like 15 minutes later. I look at it, and it was just you and Blizz.
Yeah, Blizz and I Blizz stayed on. I think he was done gaming, but we were still chatting. And then like another half hour, 45 minutes later, Chewy gets back on again.
Yeah, I popped back in at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's just see him and Chewy, and I'm like, hey, Chewy, woke back up.
Shocker. He actually ever went to sleep.
Yeah.
No,
when I messaged him, I said, hey, I'm still on, but I'm going to go let Loki out real quick.
Yeah.
Because I saw that he was back online or whatever on Facebook. He's like, yeah, my butt's still numb. I'm like, you got to get a seat cushion, dude. He's like, talking about getting a whole new chair. I'm like, just get a seat cushion.
Speaking of that, I did get a seat cushion. It does not help. Does not help.
Probably got the wrong one.
Yeah, I mean,
I got
buy a purple one.
Gel. I don't want to spend the money. I bought it's like a gel and memory foam combo one.
Huh.
And it makes it worse.
For you, maybe.
Yeah, it's horrible. Tailbone issues.
I need to get better seat cushions right now. I'm just using 2 pillows.
What happened to your purple?
It for some reason wasn't comfortable for me on that chair.
So you tell me to get a purple one, and yet you don't want to use it.
No, they're comfortable. It was the chair. It didn't. The way the chair, like I would sit inside that chair.
Yeah.
Because it was a new chair when I moved.
Yeah.
It wasn't even just the same chair that it was on, and I couldn't get comfortable with that chair once I switched out.
If you would like to donate to our gaming chair fund,
I mean,
email us at
I'm good at the moment, but
info@midnightsnackpodcast.com.
I just want, I don't want a gaming chair. I want one of those big, like luxurious office chairs that have nice pushy bottom on it.
Yeah.
That's the comfy chairs.
Dude, the ones I got for out of the feet are fantastic. I may have gotten one too comfortable because there's times where I gotta be like get down, like do some push-ups to
Start like nodding off.
Yeah, keep myself
smelling
awake.
salts like I'm getting in tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're nuts.
Why?
For
There's nothing wrong
for
with
one.
those.
That just nuts.
Because I want to stay awake and be attentive.
I mean,
You have to just drink coffee like a normal person.
Caffeine doesn't do anything for me.
Then find a level of caffeine that does.
There is none. I used to drink energy drinks just as like they were pop.
yeah,
In your own words, it's the stuff that people use to get themselves out from unconsciousness.
Yeah, but it's more or less nowadays. It's actually more used for waking
military?
up and possibly, but for weightlifting. A lot of guys use it. They'll right before they're getting ready to do a big weight.
Yeah, they'll do like
bracket and
the
smell.
pre-workout or whatever.
No. Right
before they
actually lift, they break a thing and smell smelling salt.
Yeah.
I told my dad that I was getting. He's like, "Oh, that's a good idea." He's like, whenever he used to go to the gym and work out, they used to he's like, yeah, you should have ass bottles filled with cotton balls that they would just pour ammonia into. Do the same thing. That's all those smelling salts are. There's just a capsule inside that you just break, and it's just ammonia. Yeah, let's just say you just have
no salt
aspirin bottles. There might be a combination in the packets, probably.
Just put some Himalayan salt in a tube and sniff it.
Buddy I work with said he's like, just sniff hand sanitizers. That'll wake you up too.
That stuff, man. The ones I got.
I'm like, that's just not.
The ones I got that were local, like they were made in our area actually from our gas station. Yeah, dude, I've never smelled stronger hand sanitizer.
Well, some of
in
the
my
stuff that
life.
came out whenever COVID came around come from alcohol.
Yeah, distilleries.
It was alcohol. That's where the distilleries distilled it enough to be like a rubbing alcohol level.
Wow.
And you got it in like the one store down by me had it in like glass bottles, and it was like there's a lot of warnings on the label like don't drink this because it looks like it's like a bottle of alcohol.
Yeah, so they just kept their bottling clear.
Right.
Yeah,
but I mean, I would put it on my hands, and then I'm like sniffed it, and I'm like, holy. And I like air it out.
Yeah.
You gotta close your eyes to air it out too.
Yeah.
Magical.
In the arms of an angel. Moving on.
There's a TikTok video for you.
Yeah.
What's TikTok? We haven't done that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of extra work.
Cuts into our gaming time.
Yeah, it really does, actually.
Gets into our scum time.
Scum time. Oh, dude.
Speaking of scum time.
Yeah. Do you have the updates on that?
In my head.
You have it all memorized? All 20 points?
No, that's in the December update.
Oh. So what are we getting in 2 weeks,
4.25 in a couple weeks, week or two. Getting Wolves. The Wolves are coming in.
Nice.
We are getting DirectX 12 and Vulkan.
So it is coming that soon?
Yeah, we're getting that with this patch. With this 4.25 patch. We'll get the DirectX and Vulkan.
So
I'm okay with restart for that.
They're not going to do the wipe for that one, though?
They'll be wiping. At least our server will.
For the DirectX one?
For the 4.25 update, yeah.
I got you.
So optimization is going to be a whole lot better, especially for computers with lower end. Basically, it's going to be spreading the load out between CPU and GPU.
Okay.
Instead of it being
CPU rendering all
more
the time.
CPU heavy, it's going to start giving that GPU some more work to do. But
crazy.
it should also make it lower end GPUs be able to optimize and utilize.
With Vulkan's be huge.
Yeah. That's
Did they have any videos of it, like showing what it looks like?
No previews yet that I know of. Scum usually just comes out with like, I don't know if they do it with this. They probably will, but they usually just come out with like a release video when the patch comes out, because then they put on their Steam page all the patch notes.
Man, I'm so pumped about that.
What else coming out? Eventually, the big update that we're going to be getting, which is going to be turn the game upside down. It's going to be in December. It's going to be the whole metabolism update, which all that stuff's on our metabolism screen page is going to actually start coming into effect. And then you'll also be able to. This might be coming in with this next update, possibly, was the reloading of guns. Instead of just arcade dropping ammo in, you can reload one ammo at a time, one round at a time. More realistic. If you want to choose, rather than just clicking a whole stack and just throwing them all in. So you technically could go like,
so kind of like
realize you could go regular round tracer like they do.
Yeah.
So kind of like a little bit of like Tarkov, how they switch
Possibly,
to it. Yeah. Because they do like one round at a time thing.
Yeah.
Which makes it pretty wild, because you're in the middle of a firefight and got to load a mag up. You're like,
that's why you bring a bunch of loaded ones.
Yeah.
That's why
I'm curious about the metabolism stuff.
Yeah.
And how much that's going to impact you, because like will that affect if it like when and where you'll raid, and if your character can handle certain things, like
possibly. But I know a lot of it. What I knew from a long time ago when they first started releasing videos was that depending on what you eat, if you drink a lot of pot rather than water, it's going to make your character start getting heavier. Which stamina and endurance is not going to be good as much. Eating different things, like if you eat just nothing but the MREs, that's going to be affecting you different than actually cooking food. And probably medical stuff is going to be a lot different on how you treat wounds. Stuff like that, rather than just
So we're gonna have to like get
rather
into
than
cooking
just patching a
and-
wound every time with a dirty rag or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll actually be.
So like there'll probably be a difference between a dirty rag and a clean rag, a rag versus the first aid.
There is a difference between the rag and the emergency bandages. Emergency bandage takes a lot longer, but it also helps heal you back quicker.
Nice. I didn't realize that.
That's kind of the advantage.
We just
of
have a crap ton of them, so I just keep using those.
Yeah, I carry a pack of 5 with me, plus another couple pack of like if I only get
I've got 10
like
on me
up
all the time.
like a bunch. If I only get like a couple
20,
percent
take it or leave
damage,
it.
I'll use a rag.
Yeah.
But if it's something significant, I'll use an emergency bandage.
I just always use an emergency bandage.
Yeah, I just carry a couple rags depending on what happened. But yeah, no, our server we play on is pretty cool. Scum Bandit.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to revamp. I think a lot of the player count, the population that we had when we first joined was still from there because they got highlighted in one of the patch notes. Because Scum always does it in their patch notes down at the bottom. They highlight a couple servers. That was one of them. That's how I found out about that one.
Right.
So I think that's where some of the
They didn't
population
run
came
with it
from.
though.
Yeah, I don't know if they couldn't capitalize on it long enough and well enough. But they're starting it now, and so far it's been a pretty good server to play on.
Yeah.
But we got a couple more weeks before we have a wipe again. Like then that's when we're going to be starting the whole trader thing that I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'll still play as normal, but then when somebody wants to trade or buy something,
Sure.
I need to ask the admins of the server if they'll if they can update the amount of in-game money. I know, stupid thing.
Paper money.
Freaking fly.
Yeah, because that's what the idea of their admin market was for the paper money to actually have use because there was no use for it.
Yeah.
So that's
Interesting.
it'd be useful to actually collect the paper money and then you could go to the trader and buy something. Or if the trader doesn't want to accept that, they can accept a trade for a gun for gun or whatever.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
but yeah, so that's this update is coming up here. 4.25. They have done over 90 updates in the past 2 years on SCUM.
Which is nuts.
Dang.
Yeah. About 45-ish a year. That's a lot.
We talked a little bit about the wolves.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the actually like? Have you seen what it's going to look like? Is there? You said something about packs at one point.
They don't have a lot that I've seen. One videos that I watched today from another YouTuber that does a lot of SCUM stuff. But the picture they show is a pack of wolves. So
That's cool.
Because wolves travel in packs anyway, so I would be kind of disappointed if they didn't.
So like, I mean, you may not even know because I don't know if they have details, but like, are they gonna make it to where like they're super sneaky and you can't detect them at all until they're like coming straight at you, or
Possibly you might hear them like growl or something.
yeah, I would imagine
I
howling.
assume
would
you'll
be
start
a thing,
hearing
but-
them howling more often and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the update and the metabolism update, the 0.5 update, which then makes it about halfway to full release then. Map is going to get giant freaking enormous.
Yeah.
Boats are coming in, fishing mini game, I think.
Yeah. Which Chewy likes.
Over 20 different new locations. I can't wait. It's going to take us forever to explore everything. That's probably what it's going to be because I want to explore all the new map to see if there's even a better place to put a base at than what we've got now.
Yeah.
It'd be cool
So
if
we'll
we
just live
could.
out of trucks for a little while until we actually find a place that we want to call home.
I think it would be cool to try and like turn a boat into like a small portable base, like not the main base, but like portable base. So you
should
can
be do the same like you do with trucks. That's what Blizz did for a long time.
Park it out in the middle of the water somewhere.
just
Blizz
see
didn't have a base between the in-city base and our base. He
See?
just lived out of the truck.
see a freaking boat with palisades wrapped all the way around it.
Oh, you mean like actually building on it?
Building a little bit. I mean, just to fortify it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I don't know what
obviously,
the boats are going to look like. We're going to get new wall fortifications. We're going to get like metal walls that you can actually upgrade level without having to tear it down and rebuild it. Yeah. Just upgrade it.
Dude, I love Scum. Seriously, is like the best.
Yeah, and I think we're getting the next couple updates. This next 6 months are going to be huge for Scum.
do you think it'll ever like start sticking on Twitch and start getting a huge following? Or
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not a huge like streamer community game like Call of
There
Duty.
are people who do it.
well, but
I mean, there
that's,
are people that do it.
Yeah.
that's
but
what I'm saying. Like, I mean, Among Us wasn't, and then some people picked it up. and
Among Us is a party game. It's totally different.
If
But,
somebody
you know
like
what I mean.
Summit who plays in DayZ or
Yeah.
Shroud,
Yeah.
they've talked about it, and their viewers tell them if they're playing, if any of those guys are those Shroud and Summit, usually play DayZ together. And
You gotta try SCUM. Gotta try SCUM.
their donations come through all the time that say people, you got to try SCUM, but they haven't actually fully committed it. But I think once those guys do,
Sure.
that'll take off.
Yeah.
If I was GameSpires, I'd be trying to get them to do an advertised night, a sponsored stream, and get those guys to play it.
Yeah.
That would kick their game off like crazy. But I don't know what it actually would cost to buy Summit for a night to play your game. You can only imagine. Thousands upon thousands.
$10.
Here's Summit.
$10.
Got this,
Take it or
bud.
leave it.
$10 here for you. You play my game.
Yeah, I'll boot it and then close it.
Yeah.
So
He'll jump in. Well, this is fun.
He was playing DayZ. I was watching this, and he was complaining. I saw like the night before on Twitter. He was complaining about the amount of Christmas trees in the game that had lights and stuff on them. So then, I don't know if it was just him. Well, I think what it figured out was it took him a while. So he goes back to main menu to go take a potty break real quick. And as you're standing, it's kind of the same thing as like the SCUM menu where your guy's standing there in his background behind him. Well, that's the same thing for DayZ. And all these Christmas trees just drop in on like physics as and just flop around and presents fall around. And they all had like, the presents had like a 1G logo on it. He's like, are you kidding me?
The devs did that?
He's like, the devs are just trolling me like right now. Well, I think, because that's what he believed for like a whole night. Because I think then he realized that he was also using a different launcher or like a mod for something, and it might have been those guys who did it. But either way, somebody was still trolling him because he was the only one getting it. I don't think it was the actual devs of DayZ, but I think it was the people that he had an add-on to.
Yeah,
that's so
that was
good.
Controlling something. But he didn't even realize it because he was still there because people clipped it and then sent it back to him whenever he got back. Because right before he left, he was looking at the computer screen and all these Christmas trees and presents just fall around. And then he was like looking at the screen and you could tell he was seeing it. And then he walks away and does the bathroom break. And then when he's rewatching the clip of it actually falling, he's like, dude, I was even looking at the screen. How did I miss that? Like,
yeah.
He's like, how did I not see that? Because it happened before he walked away. It was the funniest thing ever.
I was watching a clip of Summit playing Among Us, and he went to go do a move where he ended up executing a guy. Another guy he was over by the pilot area or whatever, and he had another guy come down as he was coming down and went to run over, and he didn't see Summit execute the one dude, but as he was coming over, he was gonna go to hit the map button and didn't realize he was right on top of the vent, and it went straight into the vent and so he tried to pop over to the other vent, wait for the guy to come around and come up and execute him, but his cooldown was going, and he's like, I can't hide it, man.
Those are the best when you just like, you don't realize someone's like around the corner.
Yeah.
And you
take a guy out, and the guy's like, what was that?
or some of the videos now where the meta is to hide behind some of the
stuff.
like the layers.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of pop out and go, you're screwed now.
It's a hysterical thing. I saw the one that the person was like their name was Bait.
Yeah.
And they're sitting out there in the open, and like the whole rest of the team, the party was sitting behind the whatever it was, piece of object, and then they killed him, and like
they all just
20 people come flying out of there because they all saw it.
No, I've been seeing a couple of people when you have like two imposters.
Yeah.
One will get right in line with the other, and then the other one will come over and get right in line with him, and then one of them will execute the guy, and then they'll both leave.
Yeah.
So you kind of can't tell who was the one that executed it.
Yeah. Well, that's been huge from the beginning. They actually did where the whole team would just stack in the middle. So they'd find people doing the same task, and they'd just stack their bodies, just perfect line it up, and then when they execute somebody, they're like, they have no idea who it was.
Yeah.
But and I also saw Corridor Crew.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. They're doing their.
They did.
Their stuff hasn't been showing up in my timeline on YouTube. I don't know.
That's weird. Yeah. What the heck?
Just give it here.
Give it. No.
No, they did their own like real life.
It's a real life thing. They put on painting goggles and then like cut off everything but like a small square.
Yeah.
To emulate the fact they couldn't actually see as bright, as wide.
But it was so funny because they had the dynamic of whenever someone blew the whistle, they all kept having to blow the whistle until they got to the table because they can't just instantly appear at the table.
Yeah.
Are they doing it airsoft wise?
No.
They did it in their studio.
Yeah, just in the airsoft or in the studio.
They gave each other, they had like little cards with some tasks on there. Like one was a Rubik's Cube, something was, I forget what some of the other ones were.
They have them do that. They'll do that Trouble in Terrace Town, but they play with airsoft.
Oh,
that looks pretty fun.
But I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. And they all had different fluorescent colored hoodies on.
My camera messed up again. I'm so mad with that app.
It's
I
not running?
gave it a shot. No, it's back together. But Filmic Pro, get your stuff together. Pissing me off.
My iPhone's running great.
It's because I'm running a different app. I was working it better. And my phone's like 3 years old.
Pixel 5, man.
Well, Verizon doesn't have it yet.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was a little bit delayed on Verizon. And I'm not buying it
Buy
outright.
it directly from Google.
I don't have the money to buy it directly. And I add it to my Verizon bill.
Yeah.
I just pay it monthly.
I was gonna say you could probably.
So I just can't ever buy a phone outright because I don't make that much money right now.
I never buy a phone outright.
Yeah.
I did I knew Google has their like finance thing. You could like pay like $18 a month, $20 a month, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like an extra $30 a month, I think, or something like that. Now I'm up to see if I can trade in my phone, my current two, and see if I can get some back on it because I don't need it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I could, with that app, that Filmic app, I could buy another companion app. If I had another Android device, I can use it as a whole preview monitor and control it from.
That's kind of cool.
But I tried to see if I can get it on my computer through the Google Play, but I can't. It's an app only. I don't have another device.
I had speaking of Apple and Android, I had an epiphany.
That Android's better.
No.
Well, you tried.
I want to retract.
Keep again.
I want to retract my statement.
That Android wasn't as good.
No.
Okay, I'll try again.
Nope. From
Reload. Do it again.
Click. Ah!
Scum jamming. Yeah. Anyways, retract my statement from last week about Apple and their move to go USB-C because I just realized that since the port on the phone is still Lightning, your existing bricks and cables will still work with the phone. I think that was their aim, is that you can still charge your phone. And I think it'd be smart for their next iteration to be USB-C. But I think that was their move. Their whole thing was that they can cut down on carbon emissions and all that stuff by packing more boxes on pallets.
Are the boxes actually any smaller?
Yeah, 50%. Like they're like that tall now.
So just a phone, that's it.
Just a phone, a book, and a cable, a thin, flat cable. That's it.
If you don't buy Anchor cables, then what's wrong?
I don't buy Anchor cables. I buy Anchor chargers.
Anchor cables are the only ones to go with. Love them.
I'm not sure I ever have one.
That's what that one is over there. It's one of my cars.
Apple has a chip in their cables that goes bad on every third-party one over a period of time. The original Apple cable lasts forever.
I just don't like the material.
Yeah.
I don't like that rubberized.
I like the braided stuff.
That's what the Anchor ones are.
Yeah, I like that, but there's a lot of those ones that just don't last.
Even Anchor ones? Anchor for me is like
for
the
lightning,
highest.
For Lightning, for iPhones. We've bought some expensive ones that just don't work after like 2 or 3 months.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Nope. It's because it's Apple. That can't be an episode that we don't talk about Apple and I don't dog on Apple. So I'm sorry.
I think they should have gone USB-C.
Yeah.
But I can understand their thinking. My only thing is new Apple customers.
Yeah.
New iPhone owners.
Yeah, so buy an extra brick.
They got to buy the brick. Now, I will say, it's one of the articles I have on here, is that Apple is cutting their EarPods and iPhone charger prices by $10. So, I know. It's mind-blowing. But you can get they moved up from the 18 to 20 watt charger, so it's a little bit faster.
Ah, well, that's good.
And it's $19.
That's not
I'm
bad.
going to buy an Apple just so I can attach my wallet to the back.
No. That part is still very dumb.
Does that work through cases?
What?
That's not going to work through all cases.
It doesn't work through all cases. It only works through, they actually extend the magnets on the Apple cases to allow the accessory on the back of it.
Well, that was very misleading because on their keynote, it was definitely it would work through any charger or any case.
Because like an OtterBox wouldn't work through.
If you look at
OtterBox is going to have to put magnets on the
in their
inside
cases.
In the case. Yeah, it's just complicated.
But it's an array of magnets. It's not just.
I know.
It's like a circle,
yeah.
and there's a line below it,
Yeah,
and then there's
like
a couple.
power symbol.
Yeah.
MKBHD had a TikTok where or a video
the
where he
paper.
showed the magnet paper,
Yeah.
and you could see a magnet inside the phones. You could see where the
You can
magnets
actually,
are at.
I did that thing again. You can actually see like the. You can do that. That's so weird.
It's like Perry the Platypus.
Yeah, I cannot do. I've watched so many TikTok videos of people doing it and like giving tutorials on it. Still can't do it.
Can you roll your R's? Like when if you'd be speaking Spanish, like
if
half
I
of the
was
Spanish languages.
if I was just regularly talking, I could almost do it. But like trying to sit there and be like, okay, how do I do that again? I can't do it.
was funny
is it the same principles like whistling? Like people that can't whistle, they figure out how to whistle. Like I don't know.
It was funny because when I had all the Argentinian students back in January, like they were blown away when some of our kids couldn't roll R's.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But then we started giving them words that were very like ointment, squirrel. Very hard to say if you're not a first language of English speaker.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was like, yeah, you can roll your R's, just
Right.
This podcast is so ADHD.
When is it not?
Squirrel.
It's midnight snack. It's what you do at midnight. This is what our conversations are like anyways.
Yeah.
And I truly do. I get up at midnight and I get myself a bowl of cereal. And I read stuff
And
like
have
that.
conversations with himself.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, not conversations with
And
myself.
he's looking
But
at the box, and the box where it says, if you have questions or comments.
Yep. Yep.
pull up my iPad and email them some questions and comments.
Oh, do I ever?
It was Dimitri Martin again has a thing about that, but he's got like,
Little do you know,
he's like,
in my noggin.
he goes, question, is this cereal as good as I think it is? Comment, yes. We're sitting there in the back of the Lucky Charms box trying to help Lucky get to the end of the maze. I got it!
I got it.
And everyone else receives those emails at 8 a.m.
Yep. Next day.
But I just thought it was backtracking here a little bit. It was pretty interesting that they were going to at least help people a little bit with the cost of chargers. But I realized that people that were pre-existing iPhone owners, which is quite a few people.
Half of those people lose their freaking chargers anyways.
I don't understand that. I never have lost. I've never broken a phone. I've never busted a screen. I've never lost a charger. I've never lost a cable. And knowing my luck, it'll happen tonight when I go home.
Yeah. All right, knock on wood. Don't knock on the table. The screen thing's a little more. That's why I knocked on my head. The screen thing's a little more acceptable though, because like the one time I broke my screen was when we was living down at the Denison house.
Right.
I thought I had it in my pocket, but it was like it went like on top of my pants or whatever. And then when I got out of the car, just and it landed screen down. And I knew as soon as I landed, as soon as I saw it, I was like, well, that's shattered. Both times that I shattered screens, they both landed face down. I knew before even picking it up that I shattered the screen.
The only item I have ever broken, I was 13 years old, and I slammed my Game Boy in the car door.
Like
the sliding van door.
Like the kid I told you about last
Freaking
week.
fly!
Let me mute your mic. Get it.
Yeah, it's
Flew that way.
I don't know.
Gotta do this a little bit longer for the...
No, we don't have to space that out.
In that case. Right on. But yeah, no, I was mortified. I got off the school bus and it was a great Game Boy.
Did you get a lip going like
Little quiver. No. I was livid though.
have snot running down your nose.
I had it in a I didn't have a case for it. I didn't have a case for it yet.
Yeah.
So I had
Dude, I forgot they made cases for those.
yeah, I didn't have a like
Game Boy or Game Boy Color?
it was a Game Boy, original Game Boy. But when I had it in a like double trash bag with my games and its little zip up carry case thing, but I didn't have like an actual legit case for it yet.
Oh, right.
You were holding it in a trash bag?
Yeah, like it only covered the actual Game Boy itself, nothing, no accessories, no games or anything like that. Yeah. And I had the actual games still in their plastic containers in there. But I was on my way out the door as someone else was slamming the door, and it was still in mid swing. Yeah, sucked.
But what was the best Game Boy that you ever had, or was that the only one?
Man, I've got more memories of the original Game Boy than my Game Boy Color, my Game Boy Advance.
The last Game Boy I ever got was the Game Boy Advance
SP.
Yeah, the SP, the
Folding one.
Folding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had one of those too.
Dude, that thing was.
What about the Game Boy Advance Micro?
I wasn't really into
remember
that.
that. Yeah, I don't remember.
I saw.
It was bad that didn't stick.
Yeah. But I remember playing Star Wars. There's some Star Wars game on my Game Boy that was just legit.
Yeah, I just
playing the bus.
All I remember Game Boy wise was playing Pokemon.
Dude, Game Boy
the best
Advance,
thing.
the Lord of the Rings games, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm trying to remember. I had some other ones.
I really
but-
dates both of those things, especially Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. No, that was those games were amazing on Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
I want to make you feel really old. That when Lord of the Rings came out, it still came out on VHS.
Yep.
Oh wow, yeah, I remember that.
Did you know?
It was in the transition era between it came out on both VHS and DVD,
Right.
just like we come out with DVD and Blu-ray.
Right. Did they ever
After
like
transition
remaster it for Blu-ray?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's what Toto and I watched was a remastered Blu-ray version.
Gotcha.
Did you
and
know?
extended version,
Yeah.
3.5 hours
yeah.
each.
I remember that.
He was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so long." It took us like a week just to watch all 3 of those.
You watched the extended ones?
Yeah, extended cuts.
I actually, I got to see the Fellowship of the Ring before anyone else did.
I never did see them. They weren't like a thing for me. Like for some reason, whenever they came out in theaters, I didn't.
No,
see
we
them in
had
theaters.
my family were friends with someone in our church that was a part of like that review team that got the burned DVDs that had like the scene names on the DVD.
I thought about doing that for a while. Like there was like a thing where I was like, "Oh, I want to be like a movie reviewer."
Yeah. So she's like, we watched it as a family and it was fantastic. They can't talk about it till it comes out, and they were like, "Here's the DVD." So we watched it at home, and I was like, "Dude, this is gonna be so cool." when it's out."
I missed the one opportunity to actually see them in theaters because when the first Hobbit movie came out, Tinseltown re-showed on a Sunday, the Sunday before they came out that week, all three of the movies.
Oh, dude.
And I couldn't. I was working at the theater that day, and I was so mad.
Yeah.
I was like, that was my one chance that I'll ever get in my entire life to go watch this in the theater.
It'd be cool if they came back again and did that.
I want to go to that. What was it? The new dine-in theater.
When it used to be Movies 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Tinseltown got
Yeah,
as well.
that
Well,
sounds
Tinseltown always
sweet.
had Movies 10, but
yeah.
yeah. I don't even know if the theaters are open, though.
Theaters are open. They're just super
Movie
limited.
theaters, Yeah.
Yeah. I
Gotta
think-
sit every other seat.
Yeah, or something stupid.
Did you know there's ones up at Tinseltown you can actually take the armrest and pull them up and you
Yeah.
can turn them into like a love seat?
Some of them.
Yeah. You have to figure
Oh.
out which ones they are.
But yeah, I found that out the hard way.
Do you think you break it one day? You stand
IRL?
up, you're like, ha!
Dude, my
broke it. No.
my favorite thing is the ones
so
that make a bunch of noise whenever you go to lean back and lean forward. There's a
Yeah. You're like, and then you go,
yeah.
Someone's like popcorn butter got stuck between the two seats. It's
yeah.
like,
You think that would lube it up.
yeah. Gosh.
Like get to
That's what I missed out of all of everything in 2020. Movie theater popcorn.
Oh, dude.
There is nothing like movie theater. You know, you can go to Tinseltown and just go, I just want to go buy popcorn. You just go
yeah.
and get it and come back out.
Oh.
You don't have to go buy a movie.
Yeah.
They'll sit you in and buy it. Because why not? You're still making money off you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I forget. I think it was. Oh, that's what it was. We were watching Endgame, and we get to the part where towards the very end, after the like final fight and everything. I'm not gonna say what happens in case no one's ever seen it.
No, don't.
No,
It's too
it's
late.
too-
Statue
it's
of
too far
limitations
gone.
have
So
already left.
whenever Tony's dying,
What?
What?
so
Are you kidding me?
so we're sitting there,
Spoiler
and
alert.
you just hear a.
Not even. Just like,
I'm
turn
like-
everybody a hole in the whole theater. just
All breathing stops.
I just looked over at my.
trying to remember who I
parents,
watched
I'm
that
like,
game with.
You hear that like in the back and the from the baby.
Just yell.
Hey Larry,
Oh man.
you're in the back.
When I was doing all of the,
I gotta pee.
there was Blizz and I was watching Interstellar.
Excuse me.
Well, you don't have to do that now with the amount of space they've got.
Oh yeah.
Even with your footrest all the way out, you still don't have to do that. Right. But when Blizz and I was watching Interstellar, it got to the point at the end I was rocking in my seat because I had to go to the bathroom so bad.
Yeah.
Dude, that
I was
movie
sitting in
was
the
so
seat doing this.
long.
I'm like, and as soon as it ended, I booked it. I was like, I'll see you out there. I just left him. I went. I hurt so bad.
Oh man.
Man,
I
you ever had
miss
to pee so
movies.
bad
I
that
miss
you can't
movies.
go?
I miss movies.
Did you hear my question?
No.
Did you ever have to pee so bad you couldn't go?
Can't say I have.
I think you need to talk to a doctor.
No, I'm saying like I've had moments like that. Man, it was not good.
Oh, you mean like you can't go do it? Like you mean, or like you physically just are not able to?
Not able to for like a moment or two. Like your body's just like I've got to either shut down or we do this now. You pick.
Dude.
Like you can't stop. Okay, no, I'm confused now.
You can't start.
Like once you're
Pressure.
once you're in the bathroom, you can't start.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to talk to a doctor.
Has a
No,
I
it's
thought
only
you
happened
meant-
like once in my
Got-
whole life.
got-
I thought you
stage fright?
Yeah, I thought you maybe meant like you just couldn't go because you were doing something else that you couldn't go.
No, I think I was just so stressed out about the whole situation that I could not go. I eventually did.
As long as you guys ever watch The Watchmen, The longest I ever. That's a long movie. That's like Dark Knight length, actually, like 10 minutes longer.
Right.
I watched it at Regal here at the mall because we skipped half a day of school to go watch it. It was like 4 or 5 of us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because I had one class in the afternoon, 2 classes all afternoon in the class, and I had tech prep and band. And my tech prep teacher, I think she realized that's what we were going to go do. And when I told her, I said, "Hey, we're leaving now." And she goes, "All right, hope you guys feel better," jokingly, because she knew. And we got down to the office, and there was so many people checking out. And the one office worker, there was another student in there. She's like, "All right, nobody else is checking out right now." And we're like, "Yeah, I'm over 18. I'm checking myself out, and I'm out."
Yeah.
You're not stopping us from watching this movie. We didn't say that's what we were doing. But I had to pee like 15 minutes before that movie, and I held it the whole entire freaking movie. That was like 3.5 hours that I waited to pee.
Was it here that we talked about the dude that was in the King or
Olin Rogers thing or something?
No. The guy that died?
Yeah. No, we talk about that online, though. Chewy and I bring that up every once in a while.
The guy that died from holding his pee.
He was an astronomer. I forget which astronomer it was, real famous one, but he was at a party at a king's palace, and way back then it was very, very, like, super bad to leave a party like that at the time, whatever was going on at the party.
Oh,
and he held his bladder, and then he ended up having, like, his bladder exploded, and then it killed him. He didn't go to the bathroom.
I think I would rather soil myself.
But that was also just as bad as leaving.
Really?
Yeah, this was, you're talking like...
Sir, did you pee yourself?
Like
death penalty for you.
Like, era.
Hang him! Thy urine has left thy urethra.
Is that asparagus I smell?
It's been cooking in the oven for a while.
I guess not all people have that problem. When you eat asparagus and then it messes with the smell.
This podcast is off the rails.
We haven't even got into the articles
I know.
yet.
We haven't really done anything yet. I talked a little bit about Apple for a moment.
This is what you get. This is what you get. You should know this by now.
Like 40-some minutes in the podcast.
But yeah, I guess that doesn't affect everybody.
Really?
Some people just don't have the urine smell after you eat asparagus.
So if you
don't have that problem, let us know in the comments of this video.
Email us at info.
And you can answer that, not me.
Yeah. I will reply.
To all emails. And title it, "My urine either does smell or my urine doesn't smell."
Pee. My pee smells. My pee doesn't smell.
It's better. Urine.
I have a feeling.
Why? What's wrong with urine?
Nothing.
Like when we're playing SCUM and you guys is driving, it's like, "I really got to urinate." I'm like, "I can't. I'm driving."
Yeah. And then you drive like 4 hours away, and then like he gets out and he's like, "Oh yeah, I gotta pee."
Yeah. Kevin's character always like does the shiver, like he's got to dance, like he's got to dance after he does.
Right. And I don't understand that. Like,
I've had it happen to mine every once in a while, but like yours did it quite a bit last night. You
Sit
go
there.
pee, and then you get done, and the guy starts going, like you just went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's like the animation stuck. It was weird.
That's awesome.
Speaking of games, let's get to our first article of the night. I don't know. I'm just trying to get us in there.
I thought you had the first article.
I don't have the first article. I
No,
have
I'm
it in
saying,
order.
I thought you already went on one of your articles.
Oh, I did.
What was the article?
So
It was about Apple and the chargers and the
Oh, I
cables.
thought that was just something you were just talking
Oh,
about.
it's a mix of that with the fact that they're now lowering their charges for certain things like
Chargers
bricks
for
and cables.
chargers.
Charges for chargers.
But so the last time I was streaming, I was doing some Sea of Thieves stuff, and one of the channel points thing you could redeem was to make me go blindfold and try to play.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah. I remember you doing
Chris,
that.
one of our guests we had on like episode 2 or 3, he was the one helping me through it.
Yeah.
But there's a streamer named Sightless Combat. But he joined Rare for a Night of Sea of Thieves plunder earlier, I think this week or last week, I should be say now. And yeah, he plays the game via help from his crewmates using the hurdy-gurdy. So he listens to the sound and music. There was like a 2-hour stream that I started looking through that was from Sea of Thieves devs playing with this guy, and he was showing them how he played. And he was the captain of the ship. He steered it. And then, but when they would go to land, he would usually stay on the ship and then be the cannoneer and then take cues from them on where to fire at.
That's cool, though.
But yeah, he the hardest part, and every time you spawn in, is getting out of the taverns. There's a small window you got to get out of that tavern. You might be placed in weird spots inside there when you spawn in, so they got to play the music and guide him to get him out, and then he just kind of starts running. I think he knows probably the map well enough that knows like, oh, I need to run out and go this way. But one's like, some of the ones
It's on the top of the cliff.
Yeah, just start running off. It was actually kind of cool. Steam, and he was talking about stuff, but he uses audio audio cues start directing him. But then he's like an ambassador for accessibility for different games and stuff like that. And he works with Microsoft on
peripherals and things
like that and what they can do for in-game for accessibility. I know there's a big push lately for games trying to make more accessibility because there are a lot of streamers that are deaf or the guy you talked about before stream, I can't remember his name. The guy doesn't have any arms, but is just a beast at FPS games.
Well, Fortnite, I think they added in the visual indicators
the visual
for fire.
indicator for deaf. You can see where people are walking, and it gets more intense as people walk closer. And then, so the kind of cool thing is then people of hearing that are streaming Fortnite that I watched back when I realized that was a thing, they would put that on there for their viewers if their viewers were deaf at all. And I even tried that because then I think a lot of streamers should start being more accessible too. For that same reason, like using a subtitles box. A couple streamers that I watch, they use that. So it does help for then people who are hard of hearing or can't hear at all that are your viewers. Can now
that's cool.
Enjoy your stream. So I tried that for a little bit. I couldn't get the program down pat, but it's still not perfect as any text to speech or speech to text is. It's a little funky. But I'd like to see games start doing more stuff like that, be more accessible for any handicap people that want to play, because it makes it more overall accessible.
Well, it's not just gaming. I've spent several weeks learning about ADA compliance with websites and all the stuff they're doing to make things more accessible online too.
Yeah, like this streamer, he's got like a TTS thing so he can hear chat, not read chat, but hear chat, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool how people don't care about their disabilities and are just doing it because they like it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So it's just a fun little article, nothing crazy to a conversation piece, just something that I found that I saw today. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
Speaking of Fortnite, they did something this past week.
They're still going back and forth. It's not over yet.
What do you mean?
Epic and Apple.
Oh,
actually,
it's not over
I don't have the article for it, but today, or it was either today or yesterday, they actually said that Apple has no skin in the game when it comes to the things that Epic has built.
Wow.
So they're not in favor of Apple at all for this.
Whoa.
So, but no, what I was going to talk about is the fact that Fortnite just dropped a 27 gig update that, once applied, will remove 60 gigabytes from the overall game install.
Just utilization better of assets and stuff. Take note.
Well, they specifically
Call of Duty.
They specifically call out Call of Duty.
Of course they would. I'm glad.
Listen to this.
It's ridiculous.
It goes from a full Fortnite install of 100 gigs to 30.
Yeah. Nice. That's what it should be. The Fortnite shouldn't take 100 gigs.
But it makes you wonder, like, okay, what the heck did they optimize?
They're just looking through and seeing where they can shave off a little bit of
60 gigs? Like, that's no small feat. No. That's some over major assets.
That's 2/3 of the game.
Holy.
But Call of Duty still can't do that.
Well, I think I brought this up last week. They did bring up the fact that you can now install each individual piece of the game.
Would have made sense from the beginning. How does that not get through the meeting?
It's been that way in previous games.
I know. That not get through the meeting.
As a matter of fact, I have Steam titles that are like Black Ops 2 multiplayer, Black Ops 2 zombies, and campaign.
Yeah, I don't know how.
But whatever.
It doesn't surprise me, though. I can't get into the Call of this since Modern Warfare stuff. I just can't get into the Call of Duties anymore.
Yeah.
I thought about playing Battlefield 5 again. I actually never bought it. It's not again. I played it once, but I never actually bought it.
I think I bought it.
Let's get back into Hardline. I'm gonna keep bringing it up.
The best Battlefield ever. No, I wouldn't mind getting back into Battlefield Bad Company 2.
Oh, yeah.
Online or story?
Online.
There's no online left.
They don't have servers up anymore?
There is, but remember the last time we did it?
Yeah,
it was worthless.
It was pretty much AIDS.
It was like I didn't want to play it anymore. I was like,
nope, you shoot one bullet, you went up 75 points.
Yeah, it was just so many notifications because that server was so messed up, and there's just there's not a lot of servers, not messed up, but they just made it like 50x XP stuff going on.
Well, I mean,
like,
we played Battlefield 4 the other night, and it was pretty entertaining.
Even then, that was really difficult to find a game.
Yeah.
This segues into this conversation of EA. EA in their loot box thing has always been a struggle, especially since Star Wars Battlefront 2. That was when it kind of really started getting bad for them.
Yeah.
Up in Canada, good old Canadians, the loot box lawsuit claims Electronic Arts ran an unlicensed illegal gaming system. And this was just in Canada, this doesn't apply down here.
Right.
EA is a target of class action lawsuit filed in Canada over the use of loot boxes in its games. The lawsuit, available in full form from patch notes, describes loot boxes as a game of chance inside of a video game, which the defendants claim constitutes a form of unlawful gambling. Which it is, because you're paying for something you don't know what you're going to get.
Right.
Where to go? Gaming is strictly controlled and licensed. Gaming is strictly controlled and licensed in this country. In breach of these laws, the defendants have operated an unlicensed, illegal gaming system through their loot boxes. The lawsuit states, through this suit, Canadian consumers seek to hold the defendants accountable for this unlawful conduct and to recover their losses. Suit has been filed on behalf of two plaintiffs. Wow.
Two big Mars old planets. And Earth.
Two big old planets.
One in the British Columbia, Pluto, and Uranus.
Uranus has class action lawsuit against.
It's always Uranus. Uranus is the Karen of the solar system.
Yeah.
No, that'd be Pluto, because Pluto's never included in the planets anymore.
Yeah. Isn't he back, though?
It's a dwarf planet now.
Yeah.
Still not a full planet. They stripped them completely, don't even recognize them, and then they give them back. They give them half the ribbon back.
Yeah. The bottom half, not even the nice part.
Not even the nice part.
Here's a tiny little trophy that says participation.
But it like Pluto spelled wrong on it.
Yeah. Two T's.
Yeah. But some of the games that they're including are like FIFA 09 through 21, because they're going all the way back to 08 for these games.
Whoa.
Dang.
So Madden NFL 10 through 21, Battlefield 4, Apex Legends, Battlefield Hardline, best game ever. Battlefield 1, Mass Effect 3, Need for
Mass
Speed.
Effect. Wow. They're going. Yeah.
Need for Speed Payback.
Oh, jeez.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
They've all had this
Mass
loot
Effect
box
3.
system.
Must have. Star Wars: The Old Republic. Command and Conquer Rivals. Heroes of the Dragon Age. A couple other ones.
Those are old.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the game that really helped kick off a mainstream backlash against loot box, is not in the list because perhaps the system was reworked.
Yeah.
There's a catch-all phrase, too. Such other games developed and published by the defendants that may become known to the plaintiff. So they're not full done with the list yet.
So my question is, what's the difference between EA's loot box system and like Rocket League? You know what could potentially be in there, but you don't know what you're going to get when you put a key in it.
I don't know how. Loot boxes are considered part of the.
So Rocket League, they tell you what could be in the crate.
I just said that.
Yeah.
You also could know generally what's. Yeah, you generally can know what's inside of these loot boxes, but it's also like Apex Legends.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
But
understand what you meant by that.
I mean, some of these games you might not actually know what's going to possibly be in those. That might not be a thing in a lot of these games.
Right. Yeah, because that's how Battlefield.
Well, Apex doesn't do that though.
Yeah,
Apex is a Origins, an EA game.
Yeah, so that's on the list.
Yeah. Okay. Apex doesn't show it either. They don't say what could potentially be in them.
Yeah. So that's too far of a gambling thing that these plaintiffs are up. So the loot boxes is quoted. Loot boxes are considered part of the compulsion loop of the game designed to keep players invested in the game. Such compulsion loops are known to contribute towards video game addiction and are frequently compared to gambling addiction, the lawsuit says. This is in part due to the use of variable rate reinforcement schedule, similar to how slot machines dole out prizes, and is especially dangerous for children. The random element also makes players more likely to pay for the chance to win an item from a loot box. So it's the compulsion thing of, I've got this loot box. I really got to open it. I really want to do it. And it is kind of like gambling. I mean, gambling becomes a problem for people. And if people already have that problem, then it's just this is another form sometimes of gambling. I think the way the Rocket League has actually changed it now is you still get loot boxes, but you're not paying anything for them now. But what you do is now you get the blueprint for an item, and then you can pay
to use the blueprint.
To unlock the blueprint and learn the blueprint, basically.
Right.
So that's how they've changed their system. There is no like the crates and stuff that they used to have. Those crates all got turned into like blueprints for stuff, and then you could buy.
Right on.
But Rocket League always had a full list of the rares, the very rares, the exotics, and the imports, all listed all the time.
I don't understand what the big deal is, though, if it's strictly cosmetic.
It's just the fact that you're paying money for something that you don't know what you're going to get for the loot box. It's just a gambling thing. It's the same like pulling a slot machine down. I mean, you're paying $5 for a slot machine.
But if you know that that's what you're getting yourself into.
But you know that with loot boxes, you don't know what you're going to get. You know that you're going to get something, but you don't know if it's going to be something that's even worth how much you put into it. Because a lot of the stuff's not even worth.
Oh yeah.
Like if you was to do, like you know how like CS:GO stuff you can always get back.
Yeah.
You can always like sell it on Steam Marketplace. You can if you get a knife, you can sell it for $1,000.
Yeah.
But a lot of the items you get most of the time are not worth the money that you put in for the. Look at you using that chair, you bourgeois chair. I didn't even know you had that.
Yep. I thought he stole it from me last week.
No. It was
So you had it last week?
Douchebag. Yeah, I had it last week.
Whoa.
Come at me, bro.
Oh, and there's also another thing with I think it was Valorant. I saw an article about their skins and stuff are like astronomical in price, and the article was just how they were justifying why you were paying $100 for a set of skins or something like that. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. But Apex Legends cosmetic
Star
items.
Citizen.
Let's see.
I mean, granted, you know what you're getting on that one, but
The suit says loot boxes in EA games are all function in a substantially similar fashion. Too many big words. I can't.
Similar
Too many
fashion.
big words.
Singular.
Noting that they're either purchased with real money or an intermediate virtual currency. Some loot boxes provide items in-game advantages, making them particularly desirable to players, but the suit implies that even items that don't affect gameplay have an insidious attraction. Which I get it. I can see it from both sides.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I was a person like whenever I got loot boxes in Rocket League, I'm like, I gotta open this up. What do I get out of this? I want to get this gold item.
yeah.
I put more money in Rocket League than I probably have in the other game just because of the
Yeah.
boxes and stuff. I don't now because that's how it's changed, and it for some reason for me it's just lost the value.
Yeah.
But I also haven't gotten anything that I want to do.
Yeah, if it's something cool I like, I'll sometimes buy it. But
Yeah, like I bought like some of the esports themes or the paint jobs and stuff like that. But
Right.
But yeah, so their esports is still not out of the woods yet on their whole loot box disaster that's been a thing for years now. Just been getting hammered, especially it's like I said since Battlefront 2.
Right.
So
Cool.
that's all I got on that.
That was a big mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what sparked that probably the whole thing
Probably.
for people to realize that you need to fix your stuff.
Right.
Microtransactions. So
Kevin, have you said anything yet?
Yeah.
article-wise?
Yeah.
Article wise, no.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I
We're an
was
equal opportunity employer here. Go ahead.
I was asked
Somewhat.
this week.
Depends if it's dumb or not. I mean, I'll cut you off.
I mean, it's technically not an article. It's a question that we've never talked about here.
Once we're done with this, I've got a big
Big.
article tonight.
Big, really big.
Okay. Well, we'll save
Multiple
it,
articles in
Save it
one.
for afterwards.
I gotta go pee. I gotta go pee. Can you hold it up?
So
You do?
I do, but I'm gonna hold it.
I do too. we could do one of those and come back in.
No.
So I was asked this week by a friend. He is coming from the console scene, and we've mentioned before that we are advocates
Master Race.
of the PC Master Race, and it has occurred to me that we've never brought up on our podcast, since we're such big PC guys, that how does one go from console to get into the world of building your own PC and actually being able to have a PC that they can utilize and not just a paperweight. And so I kind of compiled a little bit of info because my friend was asking just names of the
ones I gave you.
Hey, I had two of them. I had two. Okay. No. So a friend of mine had been asking me about getting into PC gaming and
Components, right?
Mainly the components. Like he just doesn't know.
Yeah, because
different.
like once you start going, oh, I want to build a computer, and you're like,
Yeah, where do I start?
It's
kind
like
of
me
thing.
looking at a car engine.
Right.
Like open up the hood, going.
I would love to.
That's where I put that one thing.
I legit had a conversation.
There's an engine.
Yeah, there it is. Got it.
I had a conversation this week with my wife about the fact that my dream job would be to build computers for people,
Yeah. I mean, that would be a really cool job.
like custom PC.
I just love the process of
Yeah.
finding
I mean,
parts and
you could advertise that through your legacy tech stuff. but-
Good.
Yeah. So
this fly's gonna be the bane
I
of
know.
my existence.
It was like right here by Kevin, and then it came over by you.
so
Is that why you muted yourself up a couple times because you're going to smack it?
No, I had to change this.
Oh,
so was trying to figure out, like, if you don't know PC components and like anything about where to start with them, we would advocate, at least I know you have a couple times with some people that have asked you about computers, to go just check out some YouTube channels. Yep. And so there's 4 of them that we tend to like going to check on different parts and that kind of stuff. There's Linus Tech Tips. There's Jay's 2 Cents. The one called Bit? Yeah,
Bitwit.
And then another one called Gamers Nexus.
And Paul's Hardware.
Paul's Hardware.
And
And I would say at times it's not Austin Evans' direction, but he does know a lot about computers.
Yeah.
Austin Evans, PC Per.
He did a lot of cameos in Linus Tech Tips, Scrapyard Wars.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff.
PC Per is another good one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do a very good job of showing you how to do budget builds, showing you how to do some more higher end builds, like
Tech Source.
Different like comparing parts basically.
And they all benchmark against each other,
right.
which is great.
Yeah. And so, like, I would say that's a great place to start. You can go to places like I like to utilize the website pcpartpicker.com because it has listings of almost, I would say, like 95% of the computer market out there. And on top of that, it'll show you compatibility with components. It'll show you
That's the hardest part, I think, for anybody is compatibility.
right. So basically, like, where you would want to start is like, you want to know what you're building it for. Are you building it for gaming? Are you building it for streaming? Are you building it for
editing?
Video editing, audio editing,
Word processing,
Word processing.
yeah, that too.
Excel
Internet
worksheet,
browsing.
Excel sheets.
Internet browsing,
checking your bank account. It happens. That's what people do.
There's people that just.
I just want to Google and check my bank account. Okay, then you probably don't need anything more than a Chromebook.
right?
Yep.
Exactly.
That's all my dad's got is his Chromebook. He
Right.
just uses it for internet browsing.
And so, that can give you a basis of, if you're wanting to get into like high end gaming,
And if you're Team Blue or Team Red,
then you can get into like talking about different CPUs. You can get into different GPUs and that kind of stuff. So I mean, that's basically the place to start. And then
I have a couple other suggestions though too. Is
go for it.
NZXT's build.
yeah,
It's pretty much the same thing. You choose your game, you pick your price, and then they build it off of those two things. So it's super easy.
Micro Center
These-
does it too.
But
Yeah, you can get Micro Center.
granted, I've never utilized that. Aren't those PCs in themselves just usually a little bit more expensive than just
No.
Yeah,
building
yes,
one
because
outright?
because you gotta pay them to build it.
But it's
Right.
not.
And
It's,
like
not as
Origin.
bad as you'd think.
No,
though.
Yeah.
and it's not like, and it's like Origin PCs.
I was gonna say Origin's huge.
iBuyPower.
Yeah.
Those are options for people.
Yeah,
to
because
have
there's
computers built that way too.
Puget Systems. There's
Puget's
Puget's
great.
really expensive though too.
yes,
Yeah, they're like
because I
the
know.
custom-
Well,
they're all
Quarter
custom
Crew.
stuff.
Yeah, they
Barney
all,
Cleves is another good guy. He does a lot of Puget stuff.
Yeah,
I would suggest.
But NZXT, I like how simple it is. You pick
Yeah.
what games you want to play on that, and then they base that, and you tell them, okay, I want to play these games at an $800 price.
right.
Or
And
I
then
want to
they
play
build
these games at 1440p.
Yeah.
Help me make it happen.
And it like
60 FPS.
just slowly over time, you'll eventually get to the point that you start understanding the market, understanding decent prices for things, understanding where to find good prices at.
And all of those channels have amazing like holiday gift guides too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Amazon's a good place to buy
Newegg.
parts. Newegg is where
Yeah.
I always usually go just to buy and build all my computers from Newegg.
most of the time.
Micro Center is
Micro Center.
not terrible.
Micro Centers are good if you want to see them in person and
Right.
like actually see all the components.
Oddly enough,
Center is
some
like-
stuff on Best Buy is actually not too bad.
Yeah. Best Buy's doing it.
And when it comes,
Walmart's starting to work into their way to the gaming stuff. You can get some peripheral. You can get stuff. You can actually get sometimes like some of the actual components and stuff too.
one of my favorite things to do, at least when it comes to searching for monitors and or keyboard and mouse, is to legit go to like your nearest Best Buy and check out their monitor selection.
The wall of TVs.
Yes. Well, I mean, even if you're not buying a TV, it's nice to see what it is in those TVs that you like.
Yeah.
Whether it be refresh rate, whether it be the size of it, whether it be the coloring and everything. But then you can go to your keyboard side, and not a lot of people
Physically try the keyboards out.
Yeah, like not a lot of people know. Like they're so used to the generic keyboards you get when you buy like
the memory.
when you buy just a regular like Dell or HP or anything like that, and so all the buttons are like rubber and have like a pop to them. But when it comes to like gaming keyboards, they go into the mechanical side of things, and
because now you got Cherry MX reds, browns, grays, blues.
And those are all the different types of switches.
And I don't even know what all of them, the difference of all of them are.
Right.
And I mean,
it's just
so some people may even like a keyboard that's nice and quiet but has a mechanical feel, or some people can get into ones that are like, this thing literally sounds like a Zippo lighter every single time.
Razor ones usually are like that.
Right.
And that's a whole other conversation in and of itself. It's
right.
A whole
and so segueing that into, we were not today, but we were going to in the coming weeks talk about a full on PC builds of
next week. So so outlines are, we have no budget. We're all three each are going to build a computer, price it out. And then bring in the price too. Then how much it actually system costs. And it's not a competition, but I want to compare what each one of us like. So
our taste.
The idea, I want to see what the idea is. Because I thought of this one day, I'm like, we need something new to do on the podcast to bring people back from week to week.
Yeah,
and no price, and it's just your dream build.
Right. And we're talking money, no
price,
problem.
No price.
Right.
Don't worry about the price.
Right.
But get detailed into it, like, if you want to throw in a capture card on it, because I'm like, I want to stream off of this computer.
Sure.
I mean, you could even get to the point where, like, there's a couple of cases.
Dual PC.
Fantex has a dual case with dual PCs built inside of it. Like, you can put an ITX case in the bottom of it.
Cool.
You don't have to go that route, but also go into the peripherals. Choose what monitors you would pick.
Right.
What mouse and keyboard you're going to pick. What mouse pad or mouse desk pad you'll pick. What headphones, microphone if you don't have headphones with a microphone on them.
Right.
And go that full route, and then we'll come back next week and just.
What's your? Start with one question.
Okay.
What?
No money being the problem. Just knowing what you know about performance.
Right.
AMD or Intel right now.
Probably AMD.
6 in one hand, half dozen the other to me.
AMD.
Yeah.
It's so close together though.
Yeah.
That it doesn't matter.
Well, as of right now, Intel's still better for gaming.
Yeah. But they're too close for me to really even care. Because like when I'm going to build my computer, I'm probably just going to build an Intel build because I know Intel. Because there's not enough difference between one or the other that makes me like the other. I mean, there is a clear winner usually, but
once the 5000 series comes out, there won't be a clear line anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're aiming this towards content creation and gaming.
Yeah. Right.
So I mean, once we see that, but then Intel's going to have a counter offer. So and I mean, that's just the way it's going to go, and they'll have something that.
It's
just they have to if they want to.
Healthy business.
Well, their 10,000 series came out and it wasn't that much of a bump.
Yeah. But I mean, that's because they didn't have to worry about too much with Intel or with AMD stuff at the time, so they weren't really worried about the competition.
Right.
But once the competition drives up, that drives up innovation. So I guarantee once AMD comes out, then eventually give Intel some time, and they'll. But I don't swing one way or the other. I care less.
Yeah.
As long as it just does what I want it to do.
Right.
But I just know all the other components when it comes to like the chipset, like LGA 55 or 1155, 1151s, all that stuff. I just know that stuff more than I know like AM4 and AM4 Plus and AM3 and all that sort of stuff.
So I mean,
and that's the stuff you got to worry about once you start building a computer. If you're brand new, you got things like DDR4, AM4. And all these other terms that you're like, what?
Yeah, like what
does this mean?
Yeah, I mean, even if you have like friends that you know are into computers and stuff, like don't hesitate to talk to them because odds are they're going to be more than willing to help you.
Because I just like building and pricing out computers. Because I asked somebody, okay, what do you want to spend on just the tower alone? Because everybody always forgets that. Oh, I want to build this computer for $1,000. They build a computer for $1,000, and they go, oh shoot, I need the peripherals.
Right.
I need a monitor.
Yep.
I need the operating system.
nothing.
I need the operating system.
Right.
Like you got all this extra stuff you forget you got to buy.
And you can too. I mean, buying used is an option, but
That's where I come in. Because I am huge on used market.
Yeah.
right. But the other thing too is that you just like buying like a used car or whatever. Like, don't go into it with a well, that's a good price. Like, I mean, it looks cool. I could probably buy it that way. Like, no, you got to get someone that knows their computer stuff to know how, like, where that computer sits in the market when it comes to what you're trying to do with it, and what you're trying to do with it, what you're trying to accomplish, like whether it be gaming or editing or whatever. Like, if most likely a person that has built computers will know, hey, this will do what you need. Yeah. If not, because I mean, now that the new chips and stuff have been announced, like so many people are throwing out their rigs on Facebook Marketplace.
Usually the whole thing altogether.
Right. Which
not even pieces and parts.
Right. But I mean, that in itself is not a problem, but there's guys that are like, hey, I'm throwing out my PC for like $800, and you look at the stuff and you're like, I mean,
it's worth like $300.
Yeah, it's like $300 to $500.
Well, and that
they price it too much to what they paid for, and they're like, oh, just bump it off $100. No,
right.
We use that sucker quite a bit. So,
and my thing is like, I'm huge on Marketplace and eBay.
Right.
Well, that's like
Craigslist.
we should do our own tech wars.
Yeah,
if we get somebody to donate,
dude, I would be down.
That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, because like my two big things that happened recently. Not one of them didn't happen really recent. It was,
we talked about both of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I got the 39 RX. I'm sorry. The Ryzen 9 3900X for $300.
And what's that go for retail usually?
It's around $500.
Okay.
So got that. Selling my 2700X. I ended up trading up from an RX 580 to a 1660 Ti.
Most of the stuff in your computer is all secondhand, ain't it? And you buy them, and so your whole build's pretty much.
I mean, my motherboard case, not my RAM's not. Mainly CPU, GPU. Yeah. So mainly CPU, GPU. My SSDs were used, or not used, but they were.
You didn't buy them from the retailer.
Yeah, I bought them on eBay at some like discount thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm huge in finding deals, and then I traded that RX 580 up to my 2060 I have now, and I basically did it for not much money extra per upgrade. Yeah. So
and that just takes years of worth of just knowing what you're looking for, though, too.
And people that don't know what they're looking at doing
don't even do that.
Right.
I just this guy had no idea. I'm like, you realize you're selling this thing for $300? He's like, oh yeah, I just want to get a new Intel CPU. You realize you're selling this for $300. Okay, I mean, cool, dude. I took the risk. I Venmo'd him.
Oof.
$300.
Oof. Yeah. Should have done it through PayPal a little bit. I don't know what's more secure.
They're both equally secure, but PayPal has more insurance, I think. But it also takes fees out. I guess you could friend and family it, but I don't know. He only had Venmo.
Yeah, I definitely didn't want to do friends and family when I bought my Inspire. I'll be like, hey, here's an extra $200 charge.
Yeah.
you don't even want to do friends and family. You mean?
Yeah.
You don't even know what friends and family is. So
hey,
took you a couple times.
I do now.
Hey Kevin, send the studio money.
Hey, it was the first time I used PayPal.
There's a fee that came out.
It wasn't that much, and I paid for it.
Do you like send it back, but not friends and family? The fee,
yeah,
just slowly fee it
just stacks and stacks.
That's what I would have done, but on purpose.
Yeah.
Here's your $3 that I forgot there that happened with the fee, and then you still get like $1.50 out of it.
Right.
Just keep doing it, and you keep paying PayPal for that stupid little.
But yeah, so that was what I got. So yeah, definitely check in next week to
see what our builds are. I'm going to use the same case that I want to get in my next build.
I'm going to go with the one up from mine.
I mean, cases are like some of my favorite things to look into.
Yeah,
cases coolest and the most exciting part of it.
To me, that's like whenever you figure out, okay, this is what I want to do with my computer. and then
the
you
case that brings
like
it together.
Yeah, you start
Case
out
and
by
lighting.
choosing the case because
Don't forget fans and lighting if you're putting fans and lighting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
I think the other thing too that I would tell anyone that's building a computer is if there's anything you can do to future proof it, do it. Even if it's spending an extra $50 or $100.
yeah,
One thing I really am glad I did because I just thought of it recently is when I built my first computer, even the first couple computers, I would just max out every DIMM for memory
Yeah.
with like a low 8 gig kit.
Better to run 2
And this
6
time-
rather than 4.
Yeah, and like this time I put 2 sticks in of 16 gigs apiece. Now I can get 64 gigs in my machine if I wanted it at some point.
right.
And I actually considered it this week. I was like,
My next build will have 32 gigs.
yeah. So I'm running 32 now, but if I ever needed more, which I don't know what I would need that for, I'm just saying I like that I can look at my case and see that I have 2 extra DIMMs to put that into.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
I just
what
like the
did,
look.
too.
I know it's a little bit better to run 2 DIMMs. I just like the look of having a full 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
It looks more
4 is
filled.
pretty nice.
It looks
Yeah.
like you're not like empty and
Especially
flogging
if you're
something.
doing RGB kind too, which makes
That's
it.
where I don't know. But I need to look into how much actual difference there is of running a 4 stick DIMMs or only 2 sticks.
It's not huge. It's just your expansion options really low, and whether you're running that in single or dual channel.
Yeah.
That's really the main thing.
But yeah, we'll come back next week with our builds, and then we'll come back with, like, I'm even gonna like do some water cooling stuff. I'm probably not gonna go all the way into the fittings,
Yeah.
or I'll just a general idea
Right.
of fittings.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm like not super confident. about.
So that's what my next build is probably gonna just go with, like an AIO to start with, maybe, or just even air cool the CPU. But then I'd like to like stage 2 water cool it. Because that's what that case is kind of built for.
Yeah.
That side has a distribution block you can get. And it's not hard actually to do. It's just the extra cost.
right.
Hardline tubing and stuff like that. I remember when hardline tubing came out and was a thing. I was like, that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Now it's just standard.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then when you get to people who do like the copper tubing, that's so cool.
Yep.
I just love copper stuff anyways, how patina is.
Yep.
Do like steampunk kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to get into case modding too.
The Post Malone build from JC Sense was pretty dope.
I didn't like Terry Crews one too. It was good. What was I gonna say? Oh, I've always wanted a white box PC too.
Yeah.
Put an old 90s case and just beast it out on the inside.
Yeah.
Sleeper gamer rig.
Yeah.
It's a good way. It's not going to get stolen because somebody breaks into your house.
He wants this 1980s computer.
There was a
the case is like yellowed.
yeah. Well, there was a thing going around, and I was trying to find it. The old Microsoft keyboards that you always had at school that were like the white ones that they yellowed. They're mechanical,
Right.
And
Oh,
they're very
yeah.
good. There's a group of people out there that like,
Recapping them, rekeying them.
no, I mean you can almost find them. If you can find them, they're expensive, but that's what they're using because they're actually like on par, if not a little bit better than some of the stuff we're using nowadays.
Wow.
On response and just how nice they are.
That's pretty cool.
But I would love to have one just for the classic look.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And there are some keyboards out there that went with that classic look. They're just alternate internals.
yeah.
But go ahead. What's your story?
I've got one last thing to talk about, and then we can wrap this thing up. And it's more of a conversational thing because I don't really have an idea of where things are headed with gaming. I just know that this is something that a lot of companies are either trying to get in on or it's going to be the next big thing. It's going to be one of the two things. Like it's either going to be really big or it's not going to be big at all. But one of the things that came out this week is that Microsoft is talking about basically releasing a like HDMI stick for their XCloud service, their streaming services. So you can like insta-boot into Halo with a XCloud controller and play just over the internet.
Just gotta make sure the response time is good. Yeah.
Well, and I tried you've got Google Stadia, you've got XCloud, and then now Amazon is about to beta their new system called Luna. Yeah. It's just these are big companies making big moves into cloud gaming.
It has to have good response times because without it,
you have to have good internet then for that too.
Yeah.
Well,
they're
like I said
gonna
last
be
week, it's 10 meg is like the base for that. It's 1080p.
Yeah.
But the thing that I was
You probably still wouldn't even want to do it at 10.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing. Like I've played, we talked a little bit about this last week, but I played Destiny 2. It wasn't bad. Yeah. Like input was not bad at all.
I just worry about games that are more worried about the response time, like FPS shooters and stuff like that.
I mean, Destiny 2 is still.
It is. Yeah. I guess I forgot that one is.
It's not perfect.
Yeah, it's still got a little bit of ways.
It's really, really good for adventure games.
So if you want to get into PC gaming, now you don't have to because you can just buy the slow stick.
But that's kind of what I want to talk about. Like, how is this going to shape the industry?
I'm still going to buy a PC.
I will. But it's just one of those things.
Casual gamer, sure.
Yeah, like, is this geared towards casual gamers? And here's the other thing: is it going to start to form the way that gaming
ecosystem
developers cater their games? Because another thing that's happening
they better not make it for those and then try to port it over to PC. And
but here's the issue. Junk. Here's the other issue that's coming out too. There's a lot of games. Apex is one of them that's coming to the Switch and enabling full crossplay. Rocket League, full crossplay.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves, they're all crossplay now, right?
Just Xbox and PC.
But still, this console and PC playing, and in all these games that are coming out are starting to look at that first.
Starting to come through.
What was the game I read about? The new, what is that game that's coming out? That it's the one in the city. It's a Ubisoft game. You hack things.
Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs.
I just said it 3 times. Nobody heard me.
Sorry.
No.
Watch
Dog Legions.
That one out of the gate is going to be crossplay. So it's like, okay, are they going to build the game around the slowest performing machine and then port it?
Yes.
I'm not happy about that.
No, that's what they do though, because it's easier. And they just put it over to. I want them to build the game off of the better performing machine and port
then
it down.
water it down.
It makes it more sense.
Yeah.
To take something, it's like trying to go from 1080p up to 4K and try to scale that up. It looks like crap. But when you take a
480p image and you just scale it all the way down to 1080p.
Yeah. If you take a 4K image and try to shrink it down to 1080, it's perfectly fine.
Right.
That's the same concept.
Oftentimes it might look a little sharper.
Yeah, it's the same concept and same idea. People don't, and it doesn't, because it doesn't make sense to record something in 1080p and then try to export it out in 4K.
And that's what I'm nervous about.
Same thing for games.
That's what I'm nervous about. You've got the new consoles. Let's put it this way. I'm just going to be real
Probably
honest.
because there's sometimes more console players for that game than there is PC players, like Sea of Thieves.
Which is fine. But the issue that I'm having is you've got new consoles, right? They're not coming out with anything that's groundbreaking. It's Zen 2 processors from AMD. It's been around.
Yeah.
Pumped that they're in a console and it's got some pretty good stuff. I saw some streams from a couple people that were on YouTube that were showing like backwards compatibility for Battlefield 4 and 5 on the Xbox Series X running at 1440p upscale to 4K. Some of them 4K native. I think Battlefield 5 was 4K native, locked at 60 FPS. On Xbox Series S, like the white one, it would fluctuate between like the 40s and 60s, like the whole time. So it can hold up. Right. But you've got consoles that are like that. I think the PS5 was just leaked today. Actually, someone just got it in for review, and they actually made YouTube videos on today. So that's huge too. I got to watch that. Then you've got XCloud, streaming services, doing their thing. They're claiming, up to 4K, 60 FPS over your internet, with nothing more than your cell phone that you already own.
Something's giving somewhere.
Something's going to give.
Somebody is getting the short end of the stick somewhere.
And I'm concerned
I don't think anybody would get the short end of the stick somewhere if they would make games for a PC and port it to consoles. And that's just not me saying that as a PC gamer.
I think consoles are going to be gone. I think that consoles are going to be considered the casual player.
The same way for PC too.
Well, I don't think PC will ever go that way. I think PC will stay.
Because PCs are more than just a gaming only system.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
but if somebody wants to play just game, if they're just buying a gaming computer, then sometimes maybe
But if they're the type that would pick up a controller, so they're couch casually and play a game, even if it's Call of Duty, like a competitive game, but casually. Dude, it's enticing to know that you all got to buy something the size of a Fire TV stick or a Google Chromecast.
Is there a subscription thing?
Yes, but it includes Game Pass.
Yeah.
So you get games instantly.
Yeah.
Like, it's super enticing. It's just...
There's got to... I don't trust that stuff. There's got to catch somewhere. Somewhere something's lacking. Because that's one of those things. It's too good to be true.
It's lacking in the sense that you're not going to be able to do super competitive.
Yeah, and you're not...
gaming.
Actually, the processing power is not at your actual physical house. It's somewhere else.
On the server.
You got to rely on that then too, and you got to rely on the connection, your internet provider, and you still have to do that with your home computer, but... Yeah, I'll forever just build PCs, but
yeah, I just if they get it down to the point where the customer is able to experience the same thing, there's a lot of people that are not going to buy a console.
Yeah, for those casuals. And that's why I think a lot of it's going to be aimed towards the casual, but I feel like the hardcore gamers might hurt from it if they're going to just aim. They're going to be more focused on the casual. And that's kind of for me. That's for like my whole argument with Sea of Thieves stuff. And it's not me dogging on hating on console players, but a lot of the changes they do in game are based towards console players, but then it negatively sometimes can affect us PC players.
Yeah.
On like the way they balanced their fighting system, that was a big stink, and it was kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them running 3 different types of industries now, with PC gaming, console gaming, and cloud gaming.
Yeah, like I said, it was before even cloud gaming became like as popular as now. When I was out at TwitchCon, I think it was in 2016 or 17, one of those 2 years, I walked up to a booth that was showing that, and I was playing a game that was not on that computer. It was somewhere back server side, and it worked out. I mean, nice. If you don't have to buy and build a huge PC to play these games, you just have to have a monitor for that to be able to see the game from.
Which that's what XCloud and Stadia are saying. Hey, you've got a super sick computer in your pocket, so.
And but I hate mobile games. They drive me up a wall.
Yeah.
So ad laced, so
most of them are bad.
I know. I want some good mobile games.
Right.
I can't play games for very long on my phone. I try it out. We tried that last day's survival thing. It just got annoying.
I want
them
to make Game Boy Advanced, Game Boy games that were that good.
Yeah.
For mobile.
Yeah, I want those level of games for mobile.
And this free crap, crap that's on there, just is a horrible.
Like in the past,
I would pay more price for a game that if it's actually going to be good.
I pay like $20-$30 for a game that we play all the time together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would pay that for a mobile
if it
game.
actually worked.
Like
decent.
At one point they were talking about like augmented reality games too, that you can like have like a 3D like Spance on like a table or something.
The Minecraft Live game.
Or something like
the
that.
augmented mixed reality.
Yeah, but like
so
make games like you could do something as simple and silly as like Age of Empires.
Yeah, but on top of that, like they're still moving that direction though.
Yeah.
Switch just came out with their Mario Kart
live thing.
And it's super cool. Like you basically build your whole house into a track of however you want.
I wanted to look into that.
And then you virtually map it by walking around with the scanner, and then you put the cameras on the back of the physical vehicle.
A car. You actually buy an RC car, right?
Oh, gotcha.
And it's on the back of it. So you're as you're running through, you're coming in contact with the other drivers, the things that are the perks and stuff that are coming up.
Yeah. Did you ever seen that yet?
I think I've seen
the video
it
I seen was
videos.
a guy put a dog treat on top of his car and like started seeing how fast he could get through the house before the dogs finally got in the car. It was cool, but that was the first time I'd ever seen that. I'm like, whoa.
And it's super cool.
Yeah, he's physically driving an RC car, but he's looking at the screen and he's driving it through his house, and he's got all the different things he's going through and picking up all the question mark boxes and all that other stuff. Yeah. The house is the track.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's the same with like Minecraft. We could. I might actually try it once we tear down. I could plop down a Minecraft map right here with my phone and actually start building and zoom in on it and look at it and all this other stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I just hope somebody doesn't get that short end of the stick.
That was my whole thing. It wasn't specifically that any one person was doing something or had one article to talk about. It's the fact that all of this
concept idea
is hitting at the same time, and what does that mean for the mainstream gaming industry?
Yeah.
There's
a shift going.
Yeah.
I've had too long of too many games that are just We need to get some good games.
Like I said, man, I really hope. I said this last week. Valhalla is way better than what I've seen.
Like I said, I'll probably buy it since I haven't played a Assassin's Creed game since the first one, so it's not like it's going to be like another.
It's not going to be boring. But it's not going to be what we've seen.
Yeah,
and it's how
Trailers
it always has been.
Hype. Well, Trailers always
any
hype.
Ubisoft trailer, that's what it's like.
Right.
Wildlands was that way, and I still liked it, but it was kind of like
watered down,
repetitive. Same areas, you do the same thing, the same different looking.
Now this Valhalla is going to be way more open world.
Yeah.
Than even Origins, I believe it to a degree, because this is going to be like, in order to get to this country, this faction, this thing over here, like you've actually got to ride a boat downriver to get to it.
Yeah, that's the stuff I like.
Yeah.
Is the actual immersiveness of how long it takes to go somewhere. Like you said with Star Citizen, it takes like 15 minutes to hyper
jump.
speed.
I'm going to go snack.
Yep. That's what I do all the time. Just make sure I look at the computer so I don't get pulled out of
Come back and your ship's disappeared, flying around in space.
You're floating by yourself.
Yeah.
That happened to us.
I know. I know. I think I was playing that night, but
Yeah.
I wasn't with you guys.
And then didn't we have to like jump back to the same spot to get our ship? Or
No,
did we
I
just pick it
think
back up?
you ended up having to commit suicide.
Yeah.
I did, but I think I went back and jumped,
Tried to get your box that you left.
and I got
you
the
left.
boxes. I actually did jump out. Just
You opened your back hatch and moved your ship.
Yeah.
Put the box into the
Put the bo-
inside and then
closed the door.
opened it.
yeah,
I don't
actually
remember
got it
that
back.
part.
But then the other beautiful bug went to drop it off and could not drop it
No,
off.
because it freaked out during that.
Yeah.
So yeah, tune in next week. We are going to do our PC build. I'm going to start working on the idea. I want to take the time on getting it figured out, but the whole history of thing. I don't know what I'm going to start with, but I want to do it. I want to do it to where it's not like me just reading off somebody else's article.
Sure.
Yeah,
I want to kind of come up with it and then finagle, but I'm still going to use
your own
resources.
thing?
Yeah, I'm still going to use resources. I'll just quote it. And
at some
put a
point
bunch
I'd like
of
to
stuff
talk about that idea I had today, which was basically talking about games that could have been that never did become what they should be.
Yeah, we'll get into that, and then stay tuned around Black Friday. Probably one of the episodes before we'll talk about the stuff
Deals.
coming out on deals. We'll do a whole episode dedicated to that.
Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say. A little side note. Intel sold off their
Yeah,
SSD business. So don't buy anything Intel this holiday season.
yeah.
For storage stuff.
Storage.
For SSD.
Keeping Optane, but
M.2's okay.
that's still storage. That's still their storage.
Yeah.
The Optane is that
That's what I
that
bought.
thing that's like aiding
Yeah.
hard drives with like local cache or
Yeah.
stuff you use very often.
So if my M.2s go bad, I'm screwed.
Well, they
There's
might
going to be
honor
somebody that's going to be there that's probably to still take care of the
warranty
help.
stuff.
Yeah.
But probably just swap it out and be like, hope this one works. But yeah, they sold it for like $9 billion, something like that.
$1 billion.
$1 bajillion.
It's crazy. They're not doing too hot. CPUs aren't the best anymore
They'll come
on
back
top.
with a counteract. They'll come with a counter offer.
They got to, or they're going to be
If you got extra money in your
sinking.
pocket, buy some Intel stock and sit on it for about 10 years.
just.
Not even be more, less than that.
Isn't there like a meme or something of a guy like just sitting there with fire all around him, being like, "I'm okay,
Yeah.
This is
I'm
fine.
good, this is fine."
Everything's fine. Yep.
Anywho.
So,
Yeah.
thanks for another long episode.
Yep.
Probably might be our longest actually now. We just keep getting longer. Next week's going to be 2 hours.
2.5 hours next week after that.
You never know.
But yeah, find us
We'll
online.
start talking all afternoon. We'll do a whole day episode, 24-hour long stream.
Oh my
Podcast.
god!
Lord, holy crap. But no, you can find us online on Anchor, Midnight Night Podcast. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and
That's it.
that's it.
That's it. YouTube.
That's it.
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah. You can also email us at info@midnightnightpodcast.com.
No, you, because I don't look at that.
You don't look at it anymore?
Barely. No. Never. I haven't looked at it in months.
Yeah. No, it's been good. We'll see you next week.